In this video, I'm going to show you why low impressions can happen even when your numbers don't look terrible, what YouTube claims is happening, what the gurus think you should do about it, and the exact diagnosis I'm using to decide what actually needs to change. My YouTube videos were getting impressions, and then some of them suddenly stopped reaching people who weren't already subscribed. So here I am trying to fix the latest YouTube roadblock. But low impressions are uniquely maddening comparatively because they don't give you much to work with. If YouTube shows your thumbnail to 20,000 people and nobody clicks, fine. That hurts, but at least the problem has introduced itself. If people click and leave after 15 seconds, that problem isn't exactly being subtle either. But when YouTube barely shows the video to anyone outside the people who already know you, every metric comes with an asterisk. Your click-through rate might look good. Your average view duration might look decent. The 3 people YouTube found may have had a lovely time. That still doesn't explain why it stopped looking for a 4th. And that's when the explanations begin. Your settings are wrong. Your thumbnail is bad. Your retention is too low. Your niche is confusing. YouTube doesn't trust your channel. Wait longer. Upload more. Upload less. Apparently, the algorithm is a houseplant, and everybody has a different watering schedule. The problem is that low impressions aren't a diagnosis. They're the last visible symptom of several completely different failures. A video can lose impressions because the right people saw it and didn't click. It can lose them because people clicked and didn't stay. It can lose them because YouTube tried the wrong audience. It can lose them because the subject has limited demand, the competition is stronger, or the system simply hasn't found enough viewers who are likely to choose it. Those problems can produce the same miserable graph. They shouldn't produce the same fix. So the question isn't just, why did my impressions stop? It's, where did the distribution chain break? YouTube's public explanation is way too neat. It says videos are judged through appeal, engagement, and satisfaction. Did people choose the video? Did they keep watching? Did they enjoy it? It also says your video isn't competing only against your other uploads. For each viewer, it's competing against all the other videos that person might watch. That explains something creators miss when they stare at a good click-through rate and wonder where everybody went. A high click-through rate from a small, loyal audience doesn't prove the video would win against everything available to a larger audience. YouTube actually acknowledges this. Videos with fewer impressions can show higher click-through rates and average view duration because they've been watched by a narrower group that's more likely to care. In other words, the numbers may be good because the audience is small. The audience isn't necessarily small because the numbers are good. That's an important difference. But I'm not going to take YouTube's explanation as the complete story and go home. YouTube can call it personalization, prediction, competition, or whatever other pleasant word it prefers. If the system can't find enough people who are likely to click, watch, and enjoy your video, it reduces the impressions. From this side of the dashboard, that's being ghosted. The real issue is figuring out why. One of the loudest guru explanations is that a hidden setting is killing your reach. That's appealing because a setting is fixable. Find the switch, change it, release the impressions from captivity. And yes, settings can matter when they control something specific. A private video won't perform very well in browse. Restrictions, copyright problems, or an audience selection can affect what the video's allowed to do. But ordinary channel customization controls things such as your home tab, trailer, featured video, and sections. YouTube's documentation doesn't say rearranging those pieces unlocks general recommendations. So I'll check settings for an actual restriction. I won't change 9 unrelated options and then credit whichever guru shouted the loudest. The next explanation is that the video's metrics weren't strong enough. This one's closer, but it can still lead you in circles. Click-through rate doesn't exist by itself. It changes depending on who saw the thumbnail and where they saw it. A thumbnail shown to subscribers, returning viewers, or people already searching for that exact subject has an easier job than the same thumbnail fitting on a stranger's homepage beside creators they already know. Retention works the same way. 5 minutes watched by somebody who already likes you doesn't prove a new viewer will survive the opening.
So when somebody says, my CTR and average view duration are good, but YouTube still won't give me impressions, the numbers may be accurate. They just may not be answering the question that creator thinks they're answering. They describe the viewers who already arrived. They don't automatically prove that a larger audience wants the video. But what if the metrics aren't terrible? The settings aren't blocking anything and impressions still fall off a cliff.
That's where the punishment theory appears. And I understand it. When YouTube gives a video a tiny test, stops distributing it, and does the same thing to the next upload, normal fluctuation starts sounding like something written by the public relations department. I don't think we need to pretend the effect isn't real. If a video doesn't perform well enough for the audience YouTube tries, or YouTube can't confidently identify a better audience, the video stops receiving meaningful reach. YouTube may not call that punishment, but the creator still loses distribution. What hasn't been established is one secret channel-wide penalty that explains every drop. That distinction matters because you can't fix "YouTube hates me." You can investigate where the system lost confidence, though. Tell me in the comments where your impressions disappeared. Browse, suggested, search, or everywhere. I'd love to hear your experience here. So here's exactly what I'm changing. I'm not treating low impressions as one problem anymore. For every video that stalls, I'm going to run the same distribution diagnosis. I'll open the video's reach data and separate the traffic sources. If search is still bringing people in, but browse and suggested disappeared, the video can be found when somebody deliberately asks for it. The recommendation problem is getting it chosen and they didn't. If browse produced impressions but the click-through rate collapsed as YouTube expanded the audience, the title, thumbnail, topic, or audience match probably couldn't survive beyond the first group. If people clicked but the opening lost them, I don't need a new channel setting. I need the video to fulfill the promise faster. If every source is weak, I'll check eligibility and restrictions first. After that, I'm looking at the subject itself, the competition, and whether YouTube has enough evidence to know who should receive it. Same graph, different break. I'll stop using one channel-wide CTR or average view duration as a permission slip that says the video deserved more impressions. I'll compare the traffic source, the viewers being reached, and what happened as distribution expanded. A strong CTR from subscribers tells me the people who already know the channel understood the package. It doesn't tell me a stranger understood it. A strong average view duration from a tiny group tells me those viewers stayed. It doesn't tell me why YouTube couldn't find more of them. The point isn't to dismiss good metrics. It's to stop asking them to prove something they can't prove. If the package failed, I'll change the title or thumbnail around the same honest promise. If the opening failed, I'll rewrite the first section so it confirms the click immediately. If the subject has weak demand or impossible competition, I'll change the angle before blaming the editing. And if the likely problem is audience matching, I'll use a short sequence of closely related videos aimed at the same kind of viewer, not because consistency magically earns algorithm points, but because repeated viewer behavior gives YouTube more chances to connect the channel with the right people. Each video will still solve its own specific problem. They won't be 3 copies wearing different thumbnails. The connection will come from who needs the answer, not from repeating the same keywords until everybody loses the will to live. Most importantly, I'll change one major layer at a time. If I replace the title, thumbnail, topic, opening, settings, upload schedule, and half the channel on Tuesday, I may get a different result. I won't know why. That isn't a diagnosis. That's panic with a content calendar. Low impressions don't tell you what's broken. They tell you distribution stopped. The useful evidence is where it stopped, which audience had already seen the video, and what those viewers did before YouTube quit expanding it. The gurus aren't wrong that settings, packaging, retention, audience matching, topic interest, or competition can matter. They're wrong when they take one of those possibilities and sell it as the universal answer. My fix is to follow the failure backwards. Where was the video shown? Who was it shown to?
Did they choose it? Did the opening deliver? And did the evidence ever prove there was a larger audience for it? Once I know which answer failed, I'll know what deserves to change. I still can't make YouTube distribute the video, but I can stop responding to every impression drop by dismantling the entire channel and hoping one of the pieces was cursed. If you want more honest breakdowns and fewer hyped-up one-size-fits-all fixes, subscribe. And if your recent uploads have been bouncing between unrelated subjects or attracting completely different viewers, algorithm confusion may be the break. I covered the more aggressive version of that fix in my algorithm reset video, right here.